Hi guys, Greg here. So today we are going to read some articles, mainly editorial, I think. Just let me open my PC first. Today is quite a normal day. I didn't crash out. Slept around. No, I've just slept 6 hours, like high quality sleep. That's just only 6 hours, and um, I woke up like an hour before I truly need to wake up because I too scared about it. So I become too worried, and at the end I get even fewer sleep. Do anyone know that, like, where can you find those editorial letter to editors? Like I can't find those shit letter to edit. South China Morning Post. Letter to editors. Oh, YP Young Post South China. What's that? South China Morning Post. Young Post, your voice, the mystery of sleep and climate change empathy. Short letters. This week, students discuss talking climate action, climate action, the risks smoking in public poses to a smoker and those around them, and what really happens when we sleep. The mystery of sleep. Ernest Chan, Chunwan Public, hold. Fuck this shit. Chinese is hard to read. In English, we all get tired and require rest. But what exactly is happening in our brains while we sleep? Scientists had not fully answered this intriguing question until now. When we sleep, our brains actively work to store and organize our memories from the day. Scientists conducted an interesting experiment involving children aged 2 to 3 years old, dividing them into two groups. Both groups were taught the names of objects. Then one group played energetically while the other took a restful nap. The following day, the group that had played did not remember any new words, but the napping group was able to recall the names. This experiment helps us understand that sleep can significantly deepen our memory. In 1964, a remarkable 70-year-old named Randy Garner broke the Guinness record by staying awake for an astonishing 11 days. But he did not remain completely awake. He experienced what is known as a microsleep, falling asleep for just a few seconds. It occurs when someone has been awake for an extended period. and their brain desperately needs rest. We all need to prioritize good restorative sleep. Huh? So that's the end. I'ma find some articles about sleep. Articles about this. Like seriously, I want to sleep right now. Kaufman. Harvard Health. Harvard Health Publishing. Navigating male menopause. Fuck this shit. I don't wanna give them my email, Gmail. Declining hormone levels can also affect men. During midlife or later, men often experience a low energy level, sour mood, and sex drive decline. Sometimes these changes are called male menopause. Huh? Menopause. Male menopause. However, the label male menopause is a misnomer. According to Dr. Shalanda Brassin, professor of medicine, Harvard Medical School, and endocrinologist with Brigham and Women's Hospital. Okay, fuck this shit. I'm gonna subscribe for full content, man. Suck my dick. Not worth it. Not worth it. Like I'm gonna subscribe for full content for a fucking medical article from Harvard, man. You just want my money and just say it, motherfucker. Okay, BBC. Need a good night's sleep. Try changing how you think about it. Quite interesting title. Like it trigger you to think more about it. Like our hectic modern lives can often leave us feeling sleep deprived. But what if much of a good night's sleep was down to our state of mind? What does it mean? What does it mean? What if much is down to our state of mind? Okay, I don't understand what this sentence is talking about. Let's Google Translate it. Oh, okay. Get it. How did you sleep last night? If you toasted and turned and stared at the clock, it's likely you'll probably feel less than refreshed, but that groggy, tired feeling may not just be down to the quantity, or perhaps even the quality of your sleep. It can also depend on your mindset, because what you tell yourself the next day about how you slept and about how much it matters can make a difference to how you perceive your times. Everybody knows the idea of sleep quality. They are sure that it is based on people's sleep performance during the night as something that you can measure, says Nicole Tang, director for the Warwick Sleep and Pain Lab at the University of Warwick in the UK. But what happened afterward and what happened just before could have an influence. Tang's own work in this area is part of a growing body of research that suggests sleeping through the night isn't the only key to feeling refreshed the next morning. Our perception of sleep, our mood when assessing how tired we are and what we are doing at the time can all make a difference, Tang and her colleagues say. The idea that mindset directly affects our sleep isn't new. Decades of research has largely agreed that, in fact, psychological processes are likely the main driver behind insomnia. Our sleep is disrupted when we are in an elevated state of psychological arousal, arousal, which often results from our thoughts, beliefs, and how we focus our attention. Still, many of us would assure that if we feel tired, it's because we slept poorly, tossing and turning all night, unable to fall into the kind of rejuvenating slumber. Rejuvenating slumber. We all hopeful. Slumber. We all hopeful. For decades, however, a phenomenon often called paradoxic insomnia has puzzled scientists. What does it mean? I really want to sleep right now. Oh, but it is only 9 p.m. So I just read this shit and I'll brush my teeth and take a deep rest. I think this might help. Like, this is some new shit I didn't read before, and this shit is providing me a new perception, a new kind of feel opinion on sleep, and I did feel a little bit better after just reading a script of it, a part of it, a tiny little part of it. So let's continue. As puzzled scientists, this is where people believe they had a poor night of sleep, feel fatigued, and yet when their sleep is objectively measured, such as with polysomnography, it is within the normal range. This state may be more common than people realize. Some research suggests it could apply to the majority of insomnia cases. One systematic review of studies identified the findings on prevalence among insomnia patients as ranging from 8% to 66%. To be clear, insomnia and its potential risks are very real, and no one would argue that if you consistently feel tired, you shouldn't make whatever tweaks to your sleep that you can. But the idea that how we feel a bad night's sleep could change how tired we feel is an intriguing and potentially empowering consideration at best. I do feel a little bit more energetic right now.
Intriguing.
Like for real. Intriguing.
Intriguing.
So I've been reading it wrong. I've been speaking it wrong for the whole time. Man, fuck. Intriguing. At best, it means you might be able to feel more awake without having to clock up more hours of shut eye. the problem of sleep problems. This approach can conflict with what we are often told about sleep, namely the consistently logging a certain number of hours without wakes is absolutely crucial to well-being. What this approach can conflict with what we are often told about sleep, namely the logging a certain number of hours without breaks. Okay, it's absolutely crucial to well-being. One of the main ideas driving a 78 billion and growing industry. In fact, experts say the exact relationship between sleep duration and our long-term health remains unclear. The research tends to be mixed, and even with a link is found, studies generally highlight associations between sleep and health rather than causations. In other words, the lack of sleep could be the cause of the problem, or it could be down to an underlying issue that keeps someone from sleeping well. People with respiratory problems, for example, often suffer poorer sleep. We are problem. We are problem. We are problem.
Problematizing.
We are problematizing our sleep. Oh, indeed, says David Samson, an evolutionary anthropologist and director of the Sleep and Human Evolution Lab at the University of Toronto, as well as author of the. Okay, I get it. The strange and unexpected story of how social sleep made us human. By using objective measures such as actigraphy, which monitors activity and rest cycles. He and other researchers have found that people from hunter-gatherer society typically get between 5.7 and 7.1 hours of sleep per night on the lower end of the scale compared to industrial society. Their sleep is also more fragmented. Like broken something? Yeah. Fragmented. But it also doesn't bother them, says Salmon. Of two groups he looked at in Namibia and Bolivia, less than 3% of foragers says they had trouble falling or staying asleep. A fraction up to 30% report in industrial society. Neither group had a word for insomnia in their languages. And I asked them, are they happy about their sleep? Are they satisfied with their sleep? Is sleep okay? However, you tried and get at this question, 9.5 out of 10 saying, yeah, I love my sleep, Samson says. Yet we know quantitatively that these foragers in these small-scale societies are sleeping less than those in the economically developed world. We have this narrative in the West. A human has never been more sleep deprived. He adds, it's total rubbish, he says. Focusing too much on sleep doesn't just make it harder to get shut-eye. It also can mean feeling more fatigued the next day. Samson is one of a growing number of researchers pushing against the idea of universal rules for exactly how much sleep we all must get. In one recent academic article, for example, researchers at the University of Oslo questioned the idea that we are experiencing an epidemic of sleeplessness. They point out that laboratory experiments which have given rise to the concerns that poor sleep inhibits health are very different from than real-life findings. Sleep need should be regarded as dynamic, with the potential to adapt in response to environmental circumstances. The researchers write, this means that there is not an optimal amount of sleep for any individual across situations and times. Rather, sleep is a negotiable quantity that is affected by environmental, cultural, psychological, and physiological factors, which must be balanced against competing needs and opportunities for various behaviors. Sleep anxiety, which I'm having it right now. So this shit. Believing there is only one right way to sleep isn't just thus far unfounded.
Unfounded.
Believing there is only one right way to sleep isn't just thus far unfounded. It also can backfire. It is backfiring, in fact. That includes when we are trying to sleep. People with insomnia tend to have rigid beliefs about sleep. For example, if I don't get 7 hours, I'll feel terrible tomorrow, and often feel especially fearful of a poor night's sleep. Damn, it got me. They are also more alert towards sleep-related cues, such as watching the clock. All of these thoughts can increase arousal and anxiety at night, making sleep harder to attain. But they can even make a difference the next day, notes Tang, by making people more aware of how much they were awake the day after. It may exacerbate that feeling that they slept poorly, not only making them feel more tired, but also more worried about sleeping at that night, continuing a vicious cycle. Often, however, these beliefs aren't actually based in fact. Those with insomnia tend to think that they require more sleep than is realistically necessary, for example, and to overestimate the impact of a poor night of sleep on their functioning. As a result, traditional treatments for insomnia have tended to focus on cognitive behavioral strategies to shift those thoughts and decrease arousal, such as practicing muscle relaxation. But I think that shit doesn't help. I've tried it, okay? I've tried it, and that doesn't fucking clear your mind. Shit, it does not. Whenever I can sleep, it is just at that moment I let go. I just let go for a second or some shit, and then I just fell into sleep. Like, I just don't care about it anymore at that time. But that's very, like, it is just for an instant, and you get back to the condition. You will get back to, like, you will start to worry about some shit like nonsense. You would call it nonsense, but like I just worrying it every day. This approach can help others struggling with sleep disturbances too, like new parents, says Pamela Douglas, an Australian general practitioner, sleep researchers and founder of the parent-child sleep that has been adopted by health professionals around the world. She pointed out that most guardians on sleep for new parents emphasizes focusing on tracking sleep duration and night wakes. For example, actually, we don't want to be logging in the clock or counting up hours, she says. Beyond the particular beliefs we have about sleep, the problem is how attached to them we are, says Jason Ong, a long-term sleep researcher at Northwestern University, who is now director of behavioral sleep medicine at Sleep and Norstex company Knox Health in Atlanta, US, for people with insomnia. It is not just the fact that they think things like I need 8 hours of sleep, or I'm going to function the next day, or I'm not going to function the next day. The degree to which they large to it. He says his research has focused on using a mindfulness-based approach that encourages detection of those thoughts. The focus on using mindfulness-based approach to encourage the okay. The day after, focusing too much on sleep doesn't just make it harder to get shut-eye. It also can mean feeling more fatigued the next day, even with sleep fine. That is surprising. On recalls one patient who insists that he needs 6 hours to function. One point out a day in his sleep diary where he logged 5, the patient told him that it had been daylight saving, but he didn't realize it. Only later, at the end of June session, he realized he slept for 5.5 hours, not 6.5, and he felt exhausted. Just knowledge that you sleep 1 hour or less change how you feel the rest of the day. I would say, is it really important how much sleep you got, or just how much sleep you think you got? Damn, the hit top. This may also mean that the rapid rise of sleep tracking devices could backfire. Warned these researchers, including Tang and Samson, say we wake up feeling fine, but our smartwatch tells us we had a poor night of sleep than average. We may now feel more tired if we didn't have that information. Some research bears this out. In one study, for example, people with insomnia were given feedback that researchers told them was from sleep data on a smartwatch. Unbeknownst to the participants, the feedback was fake. Half were told they'd sleep badly, half that they'd sleep well. When they reported back later in the day, the group who were told they sleep poorly and they felt more fatigued, less alert, and experienced a worse mood than the group who told they sleep well. It's natural to have multiple awakenings during the day.
Awakening.
Feeling good about our sleep, even if it wasn't objectively great, doesn't just affect how tired we feel, it may even affect how we perform. In one small recent study, participants in a laboratory were woken up after 5 hours or 8 hours of sleep 2 nights in a row, but their clocks were set to make them think the opposite. Those who slept 5 hours thought they slept 8, and vice versa. When they were tested, the participants who slept 5 hours and thought they had slept 8 has faster reaction time. What the fuck? Than those who slept 5 hours but were told the truth. Those who slept 8 hours but thought they slept 5, they had slower reaction times than those who really had slept 8 hours and were told so. How we feel about a night of sleep also fluctuates throughout the day. The way we think about our sleep can change even after the sleep period, says Tang. In one study he co-authored, participants were asked multiple times throughout the day how they slept the night before. That sleep period that didn't change. It was in the past, but their ratings of it did. In particular, if they were doing something they enjoyed or physical activity, they suddenly had a more positive perception of how they slept in the night before. The importance of mindset doesn't mean we should adopt toxic positivity. The researchers caution we are not trying to get people to give themselves fake news. Tang says, but it's about being able to have the understanding, the nuance, nuance, that nuance. That even if I don't get a very good night's sleep, I can still do things that I enjoy. Sleep tips. So if you struggle with poor sleep, what can you do? All of the usual tips apply. Experts say, for example, practicing good sleep hygiene, which typically includes strategies like avoiding alcohol and caffeine and keeping a regular bedtime, learn some other way to improve your sleep according to science. But beyond that, try to adopt a less black and white approach to sleep. You might remind yourself of times that you didn't sleep perfectly, but still have a good day. For example, adopting a beginner's mindset can also help. Not assuming that because you've previously had a bad day after a poor night's sleep, that is what will always happen. Researchers include Tang, Douglas, and Ong also advise not letting a bad night disrupt your life more than necessary by, say, canceling plans. Tang's research also suggests focusing on things that boost your mind in the morning could also go a long way towards improving your evaluation of how you slept. Understanding more about how sleep actually works can help too. Tang says, knowing that it's natural to have multiple awakening during the night, for example, can make those wakes feel less frustrating. We more about the forgotten medieval habits of basic sleep. Oh damn. I'm not saying that sleep is not important to overall physical health and mental health, Tang says. But there is a culture where when people talk too much about sleep duration, they have forgotten the fact that there are so many individual differences and so many circumstantial aspects, and that is causing a lot of unrealistic expectation and guilt and disappointment for lots of people. In fact, it has probably making you feel more tired. How exhausting. If you like this story, sign up. And this is reasonable. Like at the end, they encourage people to sign up, but not for the fucking subscription. Like Harvard Harvard medical publishing. Man, that what this website called? Harvard Health Publishing, Harvard Medical School. What the kind of shit is this? Like I once wanted to like go to Harvard, MIT, Stanford, those kind of places, and now I just don't want to go there. You know the lifestyle. Okay, first, I don't got the fucking ability. That's honest. Like honestly, I'm not the top of the top of the top of the top, the elite of the elite of the elite of the elite. So I don't have the ability. Um, and besides, I think the culture of working hard to success is kind of a culture. Basically not worth it. Like I don't know because I just want to get a little bit wealthy that I don't have to work throughout the day. Like I mean 9 to 5 work. But working for myself, I'm okay with that. I would lovely to do that for the rest of my life because that's my shit. But if I'm going to sell my time to a 9 to 5 job and going to like 2.1 line kind of life, that would not be suitable for me. Let's clear that out. Like, it is not bad objectively. Like, if you want stable shit, then this shit is good. But whenever some, what do you call that? I don't know, like special event like 911 or 2008, the financial crisis, and that kind of shit. Like you may lose this job if you don't get the ability, the necessary ability to work. And so that's my thoughts on this kind of stable job. And I would just say, like, I don't think I don't think like going to there is necessary, although the people right there is good generally, but they are kind of obsessed. They have a thought that is planted in them, like you gotta success, you gotta do this, you gotta do what you, or other than that you'll be a failure, then you are not going to get back up again. So I think that's not the case mostly because I think at least you could find a job that you could survive on it without any luck. So that's good issue. What I think is I'm going to sleep, motherfucker. So that's a problem of perception, I think. We talk about the perception of sleep, then after that, then this is the perception of academic shit. Someone believes, I think, like they believe if they go to Harvard, then they'll success. But unfortunately, that's not the case. I can go to HKU for sure. Yeah, for sure. I know I can go there. Only if I work a little bit more harder. I definitely can go to university as well, but I don't know where I will be. Like if I would be retarded on examination, then I would just fucked up. So basically, no worries because life fingers itself. Get me? I also not really. So peace out. See you later.